let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Here we go! Now a play fake here on first down. Out to his left. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
He'll look to throw. Caught left side by Funchess. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90!
Back to throw now on first down. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Nick Perry in there to get him for a loss of 5. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not
under pressure again, and down he goes again. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really frequent combination. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
319!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Taking it about the 16. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. Carolina getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Come on, let's go! 38!
They'll look to throw here. Funches has it complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. They'll go with a keeper. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
We often hear analysts talk about a quarterback's wingspan almost like a forward in basketball. But here's where it pays to have a long reach. They find a slight opening and are able to stick the ball forward to pick up first downs.
Now this time he'll look to throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Let's go. What? 90.
Now back to throw. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he goes down, but not before getting his inside the 25. A good pickup there, a 22. They go play action here on first down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, he's been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Come on, let's go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
Huh? You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
58.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Charles, this was the 27th ranked rushing attack coming in. That play sort of shows why.
Yeah, and I have to admit that I'm a little bit surprised because they have talent on the line. They've got talent in the backfield, but for whatever reason, they can't mesh it together and make progress.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
And that is incomplete. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Fielded just inside the 30.
Whoosh!
12 yards on the return that time. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
What? 90.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. The Panthers on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll set up to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
That throw good for 4. It's second down. On second down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. On first down, Rodgers. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Rodgers now on first down. Catch made right side by Wilson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
319!
Rodgers now on first down. Finds Jake Butt over the middle. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. 1st and 10 at the 19.
319!
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver. And
he'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And it's caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use.
319!
They'll try to run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
319!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers! Albert Wilson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll throw now on the final play. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. This one taken just inside the 10. Stays on his feet. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
319.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half?
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll set up a throw. Funches with a catch over the middle. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They're going to look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that's off the mark, incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he? I
think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. This is Cohen on the toss. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Clinton Dix there for the stop. They're losing here in the 3rd quarter, maybe trying to get the ball outside, bust a big play. Obviously didn't work there.
Yeah, and while it didn't work, I really can't fault them for trying it. You and I have talked to the offensive coordinator, and we knew that was a place they wanted to try and go. And sometimes you just have to stick with it because 2-yard gain.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. The Panthers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. They'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Let's go! What? None!
Looking to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 1st down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Now Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it, yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah. He needs better protection. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Let's go. What? None.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. And now the Packers get set to go. But they can thank their defense for another stop. And now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock, work it down, and of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Time for a break. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Complete out right to Jake Butt. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
319.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, that's Simmons. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This to make it a 3-score game late. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Green Bay, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll return home.
Thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Mean I'm a buy it, now lacing no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way and